Brain Gym in South Africa, an affiliate of Brain Gym International, brings you Success in SA, the Brain Gym Way.
Brain Gym also tells you a lot about how the brain functions together with the body. So that has opened up a lot of, knowledge towards me and my family on how, integration works. It's just not something that you do while you read or write, but it involves your whole body.
Before I got into contact with Brain Gym, I was always interested in personal development. And then you identify what the problem is, and then they say, well, now behave differently. And I go like, duh, how am I supposed to do that? Because it's not that easy to just change your behavior. Then when Carla Hannaford came to visit me, I was living in this little village in Lesotho, and she introduced me to Brain Gym and balancing. It was like, this is the missing link that I've been looking for. And so I've had a lot of one-on-one training from her, and it was just amazing to see how you can let go of pain from the past. I wasn't even aware of how my past was affecting my present time.
When I was in the corporate environment, I found that there was a lot of stress in that environment. Deadlines, meeting client pressures, your service needs for your clients and all of that, and we had to work together in teams. And I found that when the deadline pressures came, the teams often didn't work so well together. A lot of conflict, people don't understanding each other, not delivering what is expected of them. Well, to give you a particular example, one girl came to me. She was in a manager position, and so she had a team that she dealt with. She would give instructions to her team members, and they just would not deliver what she was asking for. And this led to a lot of extra pressure for her. She having to redo the work, always feeling that she's the only one that can do it, and really feeling under pressure. Her immune system was drained, and she got sick much easier, and just the general feeling and spirit in the team was not harmonious. So she came to see me, and we did a Brain Gym balance. We set a goal for her, which I found is a very important part of the whole process. And she worked with better communication for herself in her team. And after we've done a brain organization for her, we found that when she's under stress, her communication, her verbal communication is not clear. It's not what she actually wants to communicate to her team. So although she might think that she's saying one thing, that's not coming across clearly to her team members. So needless to say, that's why they wouldn't be delivering what she's expecting. So after we've done the balance, she felt more integrated and went back to her team. And a couple of weeks later, she phoned me and she was in ecstasy. She said, "You will never believe, my team is so much more harmonious. I communicate much more clearer with them. And it's just much easier to work with me as a person. And we get things done much easier and more effectively, and I don't feel half as stressed as I used to."
Previously, I was very involved with training and development in a workplace scenario, and I've been exposed to a lot of training, especially motivational training, people wanting to change. And what I found lacking in the systems was that as soon as people go back to the workplace and the normal environment, they just go back to their normal habits. Until I came across Brain Gym, I do believe the success of Brain Gym is that you actually reprogram the brain instead of just feeding it with new information and not actually changing anything.
Brain Gym is so compatible with knowledge. If you have a certain set of knowledge, like a speech therapist, you can use that technique with your speech therapy techniques. It's not the one is not replacing the other one, it's complementing. So it will complement occupational therapy, it complements a dietitian, it complements psychology. And I think that is what makes it so successful, is that it can work so well with so many modalities.
I must say my biggest area where I've enjoyed Brain Gym the most has been in a classroom situation or working with a group of kids. It can be very daunting to think, okay, how can I work with a group of teenagers or with small children? And Brain Gym brings those kids into the right frame of mind, so it's easier to work with them. They enjoy the learning more. It just makes a huge difference. So for me, Brain Gym in the classroom is an absolute must for any teacher.
I am a filmmaker and I am the parent of an 8-year-old called Michaela. I had been having some trouble with my child at school in terms of her not being able to focus in class and not being able to get her work done at the speed that the teachers require. So I felt that what I needed to do was to address the reasons why she was struggling in class and focus on the root of the problem. And in that process and in discussing with her through a whole network of friends, I then came across Brain Gym, and I thought maybe this is something I could try that would really help my daughter. She has become a completely different child. I felt in the time that she started to struggle with the pressures at school, she was slowly losing her own personality. In a way, it felt like the child that I knew was dying, in a sense. And since those sessions and in the time in between, I'm starting to see my child again.
Devin, he's currently 15. And he was diagnosed with ADHD in grade 2, and they said that he needs medication to help him with his concentration. The medication, however, had very bad side effects. And I thought, there must be another way to help him with ADHD. And then I started exploring a few paths, and I ended up in the kinesiology path, which helped him tremendously. And then now I've done the Brain Gym course, and I've helped him to do PACE each day, and he has seen a very, very good improvement in his handwriting to start with, and secondly also in his self-motivation and sport activities.
I did have a client that was going on for 4 years already, but still don't talk at all, no speech at all. So working at the school at Transvaal at that time, he was tested by the occupational therapist, the remedial teachers, and the speech therapist. But they were so full they couldn't accommodate him in therapy immediately. Because I was so excited about Brain Gym, I offered just to do that. So we started with a program that was in May. So I started with Brain Gym, and when they started to work with him in September, they couldn't believe the results, because when they re-evaluate him, they say, what's wrong with him? There was no wrong. All the things was on par, on age. So all that happened was definitely only the Brain Gym done by me, and also the parents' involvement. And more important, at the end of the year, that little boy, it was a boy, was singing a solo in a concert. It was amazing, because not speaking at all in March, May, talking by September, singing a solo, November.
Yes, I'm married. He's very supportive around it. He's also very eager to learn more, because I did some of my balances on him that I got taught in the courses. And well, he's so stressed because he's a part-time student and he's working. So it's very stressful for him, and some of the balance I already did on him made such a big difference in his life. He's much calmer, and he actually asked me for more because I'm much calmer, and so our relationship really improved.
And what I found with the work in the Brain Gym is that you can address these underlying issues, and by doing so, either the symptoms disappear by themselves, or the person starts to respond much better to more conventional medical or conventional interventions. So Brain Gym is actually very good at being a complementary modality, but also preventative. And that is what makes Brain Gym so powerful.
For more information on training dates or to find a practitioner close to you in South Africa, visit the website www.braingymsa.co.za.